Hello students, here I am with my next video. In previous video we have discussed about the typical and atypical cervical vertebra. Now today we are going to see the thoracic vertebra. Before to discuss the structure of thoracic vertebra, you must know the typical features of vertebra, any kind of vertebra. So students, any vertebra has body and vertebral arch. So vertebral arch is made up of by pedicles which are directed backward and laterally, and lamina. The pedicles and lamina togetherly form the arch. This arch has the transverse process again bilaterally. So and posteriorly again lamina fuse to form the spine. Okay, so total this element is called as the neural arch or the vertebral arch. And in between body and vertebral arch there is a foramen which is called as the vertebral foramen. Okay, so these are the features of vertebra, typical vertebra. Again the this vertebral arch has the superior articular facets, inferior articular facets, spine, transverse process. The transverse process of cervical vertebra we have seen pierced by the transverse foramina, foramina transverse area. Okay, and the spine was bifid of cervical vertebra. Now in this case, see the thoracic vertebra, how you will recognize the thoracic vertebra. The body is heart shaped, the heart shaped body. The thoracic vertebra has heart shaped body. See, typically heart shaped body. Again the vertebral foramen is small as compared with the body, and on the body there are the superior and inferior costal facets. They are demifascets. It's half of the circle. Okay, the body of the thoracic vertebra has superior and inferior costal demifascets, and superior costal demifascet is large as compared with the inferior, and it get articulate with the articular facet present on the head of the rib. See, so it get articulate like this. Okay, superior is large, superior demifascet is large, and it get articulate with the head of the corresponding rib. Suppose this is the T3, then this will be the third rib. Okay, so this is the large. Again the head has the two articular facets, so this one is in this one. So this will articulate with the this superior. So it is very easy to identify the thoracic vertebra. The demifascets are present on the body, superior and inferior border of the body, and the costal facets are present on the transverse process. See, these are the transverse process which are directed laterally and backwards, and both they have the costal facets present on the transverse process. So they get articulate with the tubercle on the present behind the neck of the corresponding rib. See, again I will show you this is the joint, and how this tubercle get articulate with this facet like this. Okay, okay, so what are the features of thoracic vertebra? The body is heart shaped. The transverse diameter and anteroposterior diameter are equal or actually same. The vertebral foramen is small as compared to the body, and the demifascets are present on the superior and inferior borders. The costal facets are present on the transverse process of the thoracic vertebra. The superior articular facets are projected upwards at the junction of pedicles and lamina, and they are directed, yes, they are directed forwards, while superior articular facets are directed backwards, while the inferior articular facets are directed forwards. and inferior articular facets fuse with the lamina. Okay, the pedicles are directed, see, you can see the pedicles are directed backward. These are the pedicles, both. Okay, near the pedicle there is a superior demifascet. Okay, and behind this superior demifascet and in between this demifascet and this superior articular facet, this is the shallow superior vertebral notch. This is the superior vertebral notch in between this demifascet and superior articular facet. This is the superior vertebral notch, while the inferior vertebral notch, you can see like this. This is the inferior behind this inferior demifascet and this articular facets, inferior articular facets. Okay, so this is the inferior vertebral notch. So this inferior vertebral notch and superior vertebral notch of corresponding, see like this, we can see now. So this foramen, this is the foramen, this, which is called as the vertebral foramen, vertebral superior vertebral notch and inferior vertebral notch togetherly form the foramen, which passes the ventral and dorsal rami of the spinal nerve, corresponding spinal nerves. Okay, so in this way the thoracic vertebra, typical thoracic vertebra from 2nd to 8th are the typical, and they bears the common features like body, heart-shaped body, costal facets on the transverse process, and the spine is directed downward and backward, and long spine, it has long spine which is directed backward and downward, and superior articular facets directed backward, and inferior articular facets directed forward, and demifascets present on the body, superior and inferior borders of the body respectively, and they are demifascets. Superior demifascet is large as compared with the inferior, and it corresponds, it articulates with the corresponding rib, okay, to form the costovertebral joint. Okay, this is the costovertebral joint, here, and this is the costotransverse joint. Means the transverse process, the facet on the transverse process articulate with the this tubercle present on the behind the neck of the rib. So it is a costotransverse joint. Okay, and what are the articulations or attachments? The superior and inferior borders again gives attachment to the anterior and posterior longitudinal ligaments, and then respectively the lamina gives attachment to the ligamentum flava, and the transverse process gives attachment to the superior as well as the lateral and inferior costotransverse ligament, and the spine gives attachment to the trapezius rhomboides muscle, again the serratus posterior. Okay, serratus posterior muscle, latissimus dorsi muscle, these muscles are attached with the spine. So this is all about the thoracic vertebra. Now the atypical thoracic vertebra, we will see what are the special characteristics of the atypical. First, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. 5 are the atypical thoracic vertebra, and 2nd to 8th are the typical. Okay. Now see students, we will see the first thoracic vertebra. First thoracic vertebra has features. Its body is not heart-shaped. And superior costal facet is complete, and the spine is large, thick, while it is horizontal. It is not directed downward, okay, and backward, but it is quite horizontal as like the C7, and it is large and thick. Superior costal facet is complete, not demifascet, and the body is not heart-shaped. Then second, 9th thoracic vertebra has superior costal demifascet only, but it has no inferior costal demifascet. This is the different. It has no costal facet inferiorly, but superior costal facet is there, which is demifascet. Now 10th thoracic vertebra has superior costal facet, but it is complete. Like first thoracic vertebra, it is complete, but the remaining it resembles with the typical thoracic vertebra. The spine is directed downward. That's why this one is the difference. Now the 11th thoracic vertebra is having single costal facet superiorly and no facets present on the transverse process. Okay, now the 12th thoracic vertebra has the features which are similar to the lumbar vertebra, and it bears only single costal facet superiorly. Okay, so these are the quite differences for the typical and atypical thoracic vertebra. So first thoracic vertebra, the body is not heart shaped, the spine is quite horizontal, and it's having superior costal demifascet, which is complete, and not demifascet, it is complete, rounded. Okay, now the 10th is also only having superior demifascet and complete, but the spine is directed downward. And the 9th has superior costal demifascet, but it is not having inferior demifascet, while the 11th has single costal demifascet having, but no costal facets present on the transverse processes, and 12th also having no facet on the transverse process, and have similar characteristics as the lumbar vertebra, the body and all the spine is short. Okay, so this is all about the thoracic vertebra. In next video we will see the lumbar vertebra. So keep watching, students, video, and I need your queries. If you are having any queries, you can ask or WhatsApp me, and as per your demands we will soon see the humerus and scapula. Students are asking the large bones as well, patella, so we will see it in next video. So thank you.